Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Masa al Khair, good evening. My name is Diala Sabbagh, I'm with Gulf Intelligence, and it's a pleasure to be your Master of Ceremonies tonight. On behalf of the Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah Foundation for Energy and Sustainable Development, it's my pleasure to welcome you all to the 4th annual Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah International Energy Awards for Lifetime Achievement. Tonight's awards recognize individuals for their outstanding accomplishment in the global energy sphere, for making a unique impact during their careers in the industry, and for their contribution to addressing the overall challenges of energy security, transparency, and economic development. These are all attributes that both reflect and honor His Excellency Al Attiyah's legacy within the industry, his dedication, his resolve, his leadership, and the instrumental role that he's played in successfully shaping Qatar's energy industry, as well as the wisdom that he's given on the international energy stage. Individuals will be honored in His Excellency's name tonight for their impact in advancing the following: Qatar's energy industry, OPEC, the education of future energy leaders, producer-consumer dialogue, international energy journalism, energy policy and diplomacy, and a newly added category this year, that of renewable energy. The winners have been chosen by a 7-member international selection committee, some of whom are former winners of this prestigious prize, and we're delighted to have some of the committee members here with us tonight in this beautiful and inspiring Museum of Islamic Art. I would like to thank our award partners, Maersk Oil, Qatar Petroleum, Dolphin Energy, the Supreme Committee for Delivery and Legacy, Qatar Airways, and it's now my pleasure to welcome and invite the CEO of Maersk Oil, Mr. Jacob Thomassen, to give the welcoming address. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, colleagues, friends, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to be here this evening on behalf of Maersk Oil as a proud partner of the 4th Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah International Energy Awards to acknowledge some of the very special individuals for their lifetime contributions to the energy sector. These pioneers, advisors, mentors represent the analytical mind, the strong heart, and the sturdy backbone that characterized one of the world's most influential industries. Tonight's awards recognize their dedication, insight, and leadership towards shaping energy policy, promoting energy dialogue, and to inspiring and educating future generations to ensure their own prosperity and security. And of course, these awards also pay tribute to a man with an analytical mind, a strong heart, and a sturdy backbone, a true leader and visionary, His Excellency Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah, Chairman of the Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah Foundation for Energy and Sustainable Development. His Excellency's own legacy is a formidable one. Back in the early 90s, when he became Minister of Energy and Industry here in Qatar, and when Maersk Oil first came to Qatar, oil and gas prices were volatile and the outlook bleak. But through his leadership, his vision, and his efficient decision-making, and with the support of a strong team in Qatar Petroleum, many of us join us here tonight, Qatar's energy industry experienced the start of a revolution which would build the foundations of a modern economy. We are gathered here tonight in celebration, but it can't escape our attention that the industry again faces huge pressure. History can show that we can weather the storm with strong captains to helm to navigate through the uncertainty and market economics, to maintain a steady course and to match volatility with perseverance. Qatar's stature as one of the world's major energy providers is a testament to that, and to the belief and optimism of His Highness Sheikh Hamad Bin Hamad Al Attiyah and the Father Emir before him, which remind us of to be brave and to think big. It's challenging times for the oil and gas business, no doubt about that, but I see a bright future for agile organizations that are quick to adapt to changing market conditions and to embrace new ideas. We must continue to innovate, to use technology to make more efficient processes to deliver the greatest value at the lowest cost with the highest safety standards. And through our own leadership, we must develop, inspire, and encourage the next generation in our industry to do the same. And here, I cannot help but telling you a little anecdote from my period where I've been lucky to meet Abdullah Bin Hamad, His Excellency, several times. I recall in particular his visit to Denmark, Maersk Oil's home, in 2007, during which Abdullah Bin Hamad demonstrated his customary strong embrace of the world around him. As part of our program, we took His Excellency to Svendborg, the hometown of Maersk's founding family, and the site of Maersk Drilling's advanced simulation training center, Maersk Training Center. As our helicopter came to land on the lawn next to the training center, our arrival attracted, or perhaps I should say distracted, the attention of the neighboring school, whose pupils quickly rushed outside to see the VIP arrival. They were not used to helicopters landing on their lawn. So the ever generous, as always generous with his time, His Excellency set off to greet the children and their teacher before engaging them in a lively discussion about Qatar and the oil and gas industry. Your Excellency, you were a master of your own public relations that day, earning front page picture in the newspapers and ensuring an unforgettable experience for those young people. The school used that experience to build lessons plans around Qatar, and your well-deserved reputation as an exceptional corporate citizen were imprinted upon me. It is in such a spirit that I thank you for your kind friendship, both on a personal level and with Maersk Oil, and it gives me even greater pleasure to be part of today's proceedings to recognize the legacy of His Excellency Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah and those who strive to continue in your footsteps. Finally, I would like to congratulate all of tonight's award recipients, and to all of you, I wish you a very pleasant evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thomason. Well, we're honored that the 2016 awards in a lecture will be delivered this year by Mr. Narendra Taneja, who is the chairman of the Energy Security Group of the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry and the head of the Energy Department of the BJP, India's ruling party. India is the brightest spot today in economic growth worldwide, and so to share his outlook on Asian energy demand, please join me in welcoming Mr. Taneja to the podium. Thank you very much.
Well, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and thanks for the honor and greetings from India, a country which is not very far from here and with which, of course, the Arab world has enjoyed close relations, and we have, of course, enjoyed close relations for centuries. A country where economic growth is the mantra every Indian is wedded to, where hunger for natural gas will soon break all previous records, and future demand projections being made by various agencies and houses and think tanks, those projections probably will also get a big surprise. Because in my view, in a country where 700 million people are still not part of the gas economy, and they're eager to join, and the government facilitating it, I think the demand for natural gas in India is going to be much, much higher than projected by any think tank, any organization, or any consulting firm. In India, where the demand for oil has already overtaken China, where growth in renewables is setting a new world record, where renewable energy goal, for instance, at present is 175,000 megawatt by 2020, and where renewable energy is taking the shape of a grassroots revolution. Grassroots revolution, you can see it across the country, wherever you go. Yet, where oil and gas are not dirty words, where natural gas is treated as a sunrise industry, with a lot of hope, with a lot of enthusiasm, and with tremendous planning, where oil is respected, I repeat, where oil is respected as a blessing to mankind and an asset which is strategic, and where a big global natural gas market is fast taking shape. So these are the things, these are the developments which are taking place not very far from Qatar. And India, my country, where the transition process from hydrocarbon economy to a renewable-based economy, including nuclear, would probably go on for many decades, probably until 2080. It's not going to be a shift. We will consume more coal, we will consume more oil, and we are going to consume more natural gas for decades to come. At the same time, we will be doing everything possible in renewable, because demand for energy in India is going to surprise even the most optimist, even the best equipped analyst. Take it from me. I travel across the country and I know what is actually coming. And at the same time, where gas and oil will remain central to India's growth for several decades to come. What we are trying to do in India is to shift to a sustainable gas-based economy. A densely populated country with home to 1.27 billion women, children, and men has clearly no other option. Coal is too polluting, we know that. But we are going to use coal also for a very, very long time. And a big share for renewables in India's energy mix is still several decades ago. I mean, we are investing a lot, we are working in that direction, but at the same time, when you look at our demand, requirement, and also pulling those people up who are below energy poverty line into the energy mainstream, that's going to require us practically every single source of energy that's available or that is known to humankind. Therefore, our focus is on natural gas, and of course also on oil. Now, today in 2016, this is the order: natural gas first, oil after the rest. Because next 40, 50 years, we are building an economy which is going to be largely and broadly gas-based. Gas today accounts for about 9% of India's energy mix. Some people say 9.7, while oil accounts for more than 25%. But this is all set to change. However, with gas occupying probably the biggest share in India's energy in the coming few decades. In India, as oil production stagnate and gas production decrease, a large share of total consumption of natural gas has to be imported. And the same goes for oil. India's dependence on imported oil is going to go up from 80% to about 92% in coming years. The gap between domestic gas production and consumption is expected to increase from 19 BCM to 82 BCM by 2035. But these are the assessments and projections given by some well-known international agencies. My own assessment is that actually demand is going to be much, much more if we have to bring every single Indian of these 700 million who are not part of the natural gas economy into the gas economy. We are going to need much, much more than this projection. However, there are a few issues that I would like to underline here. India, China, Japan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and I'm sure all other importers want to see a stable and peaceful Middle East. Asian oil and gas importers are among the biggest stakeholders in the present and future of the Middle East, which is hugely blessed by God with so much of wealth, with so much of talent, and with so much of beauty. But let me be honest. Disturbances in the Middle East do disturb us, the importers, the big consumers, forcing us to diversify our supply sources of oil and gas to other regions, to Africa, to Australia, and to even far away Latin America and the United States. We are building 7 LNG ships just to bring LNG from the United States. I wish, and I repeat, I wish we don't have to do that. We all must ensure a peaceful Middle East and a golden future for the entire Middle East. We, India, we, the consumers of oil and gas, are with you, behind you on this, because what you have to offer is extremely precious for us and extremely critical for our future, for our children, for our economy, for all those who live below poverty line. A few thoughts on prices. In my view, high oil and gas prices are bad for emerging economies like India and China, and for that matter, other economies. But the prices that are too low are also bad. India's exports have suffered due to lower revenues in the Middle East. Our exports to the Middle East have suffered. Our exports to other parts of the world have suffered because of oil prices that are too low. Global economy has suffered due to lower energy prices. And the fear that low prices could lead to economic and social distress in the Middle East give us, trust me when I say that, give us sleepless nights, because we can't afford that. We can't afford that. We want prices of energy, particularly oil, that are not too high, that are not too low. For oil, just a thought, a price in the region of US $55 to $60 per barrel should be a win-win for all. That's how we look at it. We hope that an Asian gas order should soon be in place, which could bring stability in prices for both producers as well as consumers, so that both producers and consumers can plan their future accordingly. The Global Oil and Gas Gravity Center, and this is a major shift which has happened. The Global Oil and Gas Gravity Center has already moved from the Atlantic to Asia. It's a reality now. And in my view, this will be an Asian century as far as oil and gas are concerned. This will be an Asian century. But at the same time, this will also be an Africa century for oil and gas, beginning in 2025, because Asia, particularly economies like India and China, will peak by 2050, and we will still have 50 years to go of this century. So the gravity center will move to Africa. The Middle East, this part of the world, can be the bridge between Asia and Africa. Can be a bridge and can be a force to make this happen, can be a force. And in the process, the Middle East can benefit from it, profit from it, and do wonderful service to the humankind. The Middle East future is tied more with Asia today. And I repeat, Middle East future is tied more with Asia today and Africa tomorrow than any other continent, Thanks for this opportunity. God bless your country, God bless Qatar, and God bless the Middle East. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Mr. Taneja for those preemptive words. Well, now it's time to actually start our awards ceremony, and it's my pleasure to welcome and invite to the podium to announce our first category and announce the first winner, His Excellency Dr. Ibrahim Brahim, Economic Advisor to the Amiri Diwan. Your Excellency.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, it's my great pleasure to introduce Mr. Hamad Rashid Al Muhannadi on the occasion of him receiving the Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah Lifetime Achievement Award for the advancement of Qatar's energy industry. Hamad is certainly well qualified to receive this distinguished award for his work in energy in Qatar that spanned about 33 years, maybe a little more, of distinguished services started actually in 1982. Am I right, Hamad? I think. Since then, actually, he was a young engineer, but since then, maybe it took him a few years, he was appointed to many major leadership positions. Actually, these positions included oil, gas, petrochemicals, transportation, and even education. It will be very difficult for me in these few minutes to talk about all his achievements. I will mention only a few positions that he really led and played a very important role. From 1992, I think, to 2007, he was general manager and chief executive officer of Capco. He achieved and made the company a prominent petrochemical company. During his leadership, the company expanded greatly its production and the range of its products. I think I will try not to make mistakes here. I think the ethylene production increased by about 360%, and the polyethylene increased actually by 560%. And also he contributed greatly to the marketing strategy and establishing sales network in Capco. The second major appointment he had, and is from 2007 to 2015, he was the chief executive officer of RasGas, and he played really, and he made a very significant contribution to making RasGas the company that it is. During his leadership, RasGas reached notable heights. It became the largest producer of gas in Qatar. It became one of the largest LNG producers in the world, and its marketing strategy reached almost all over the globe. The many positions and leadership positions that he was appointed to reflects really the Qatar's leadership in his ability to meet challenging tasks that requires high operational, technical, and administrative skills. I have known Hamad for some time and under different capacities, mainly as a Chief Executive Officer of RasGas, as Vice Chairman of the Marketing Committee in RasGas, and as a member of Qatar Petroleum. I found working with him inspiring and joyful at the same time. I take this opportunity to thank the Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah Foundation for asking me to speak on Hamad's behalf, and I congratulate Hamad for a well-deserved award. Now, may I invite His Excellency to the stage, Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah, to present, and Hamad Rashid Al Muhannadi to accept this award.
Congratulations, Mr. Mohannadi. Please, if you'd like to come and say a few words, tfaddal, please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Ibrahim, for my introduction. Your Excellency Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah, Chairman of Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah Foundation for Energy and Sustainable Development. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm greatly honored and humbled to be recognized this evening with the Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah 4th International Energy Award for the advancement of the Qatar energy industry. Ladies and gentlemen, I have not made this journey alone. This award also belongs to many people, some of whom are with us here this evening. They have encouraged me and supported me during my 34 years with Qatar Petroleum through the various joint venture and projects that I have worked for. They have shared with me their dedication and commitment and belief in developing the Qatar energy industry for the well-being of Qatari people and many more people around the world. A special thanks and appreciation to His Excellency Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah, who has been the most influential person throughout my career. I had the privilege of working with him, and I attribute many of my humble contribution achievements to his extraordinary and inspiring leadership. I would like also to thank the selection committee for their nomination and my selection for this highly prestigious award. Last but not least, I would like to thank my wife and my family for their support and understanding. Without their full encouragement, I wouldn't be here today. God bless you, and good evening to you all.
Congratulations to Mr. Al Muhannadi. Well, to announce the second category of award and the second winner, it's my pleasure to welcome and invite Mr. Nasser Al Jayda, member of the board of Qatar Petroleum and member of the board of the Al Attiyah Foundation. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to introduce a person that I have known for many years, the winner of 2016 Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah Award for the Lifetime Achievement for the Advancement of OPEC, to His Excellency Dr. Majid Al Munif. Dr. Majid is an advisor today to the Royal Court of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and a list of his current and past professional achievements and a prestigious role is a long one. Dr. Majid is a member of Saudi's Aramco's Board of Directors, the International Advisory Group of King Abdullah Petroleum Studies and Research Center, and of course, the Oxford Energy Policies Club. Previously, Dr. Majid was a Secretary General and a member of the Supreme Economic Council of Saudi Arabia, and he has served as a Saudi's governor for OPEC and its representative for the organization Economic Commission Board. Dr. Majid was also a member of Economic and Energy Committee of the Majlis al-Shura and the chairman of the Gulf Cooperation Council Energy Team. Long list continues, but I think I will stop here. It's a long career with a marked achievement for what he contributed to his countries and to the industry at large. May I now ask kindly His Excellencies, Dr. Majid, to come to the podium and to the stage to receive the award from His Excellency Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah.
Excellency Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah International Foundation for Energy and Sustainable Development for this prestigious award. While I am honored for the recognition of my humble contribution to the advancement of OPEC, this contribution would not have been made hadn't I been given the opportunity and support given to me by so many. Chief among them is my ex-boss and teacher, His Excellency Ali Naimi. I also consider myself privileged and fortunate to have worked for the organization in different capacities during the past 25 years. During a period in which two outstanding ministers and the strategists worked tirelessly and in concert to transform OPEC to a more efficient, responsive, and forward-looking and truly globalized organization, which I hope will continue to be. These two individuals, their excellencies, Ali Naimi, and Abdullah Al Attiyah. So thank you for giving me this opportunity and for learning from your accumulated wisdom. I also would like to thank my family and my wife and family who are with me tonight for giving me the full support. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to Dr. Al-Munif. Well, to present our third award category and winner, it's my pleasure to welcome and invite Dr. Khalid Al-Suba'i, the Acting Executive Director of the Qatar Environment and Energy Research Institute, to the podium. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum. It is my pleasure to introduce the winner of 2016 Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah Award for the Lifetime Achievements for the Advancement of the Renewable Energy to Mr. Adnan Amin. Mr. Amin is currently serving his second term as the Director General of the International Renewable Energy Agency, as known as ARENA. Mr. Amin's professional journey has been long and fruitful. With 25 years, a quarter of century of experience and recognition in the field of sustainable development, international energy, and environment policy. Since Mr. Amin took office, ARENA membership has almost tripled, growing to over 170 countries in 5 years. Such figures illustrate his success. Numbers don't lie. Under Mr. Amin's leadership, ARENA was also the lead agency for climate action in renewable energy at the UN Secretary General Climate Summit at COP21 in Paris last December. Along with his professional triumph, Mr. Amin is an accomplished sailor. He regularly enjoys the beauty and the majesty of the environment, and he has endeavored to protect for over 2 decades. I think you will all agree with me that he has centrally succeeded. It's now my pleasure to invite His Excellency Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah and Mr. Adnan Amin to stage to accept his award.
Your Excellency Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah, Dr. Al-Suba'i, thank you very much. I am honored by this award. I am doubly honored because this is the first award that you are presenting on renewable energy. And I accept it in all humility on behalf of all those who are working for a sustainable energy future for all of us. I am particularly glad that this is in Qatar because, Your Excellency, I have been following you for a long time, and I remember your inspirational chairmanship of the Commission on Sustainable Development and the Conference of Parties for the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, showing that leadership that can come from this region for global sustainability is not only about oil, it's about a vision for prosperity and sustainability for the future. I'm proud to be part of that. I'm proud to be headquartered in Abu Dhabi. And we have seen in the United Arab Emirates that some of the lowest prices for renewable energy that have been achieved in the recent past have been in Dubai. Renewable energy has moved from the margins to the mainstream. It has become a major part of the global energy mix, and for the last 4 years, the majority of new power capacity additions to the global mix have come from renewable energy. Our agency has been here for 5 years. During that period, we have seen a transformation of the global energy system, and we know that there is a lot more work to do, but that work has to be done in partnership with all sectors of energy for a positive future. So thank you very much for this award, and I'm delighted to be able to accept it today with you here. Thank you.
Congratulations to Mr. Amin. Well, that concludes the first part of our award ceremony, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. We're now going to break for dinner for half an hour or so, and we will resume with the next 4 awards afterwards. Bon appétit. Thank you. Well, we have 4 more awards to hand out this evening, and to present the next category and to announce the next winner, it's my pleasure to welcome and invite Dr. Hamad Al Attiyah, the President of Qatar University, to the podium. Thank you, Dr. Al Attiyah.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is my pleasure to introduce the winner of the 2016 Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah Awards for the Lifetime Achievement Award for the advancement of educating future energy to Dr. Bassam Fattouh. Dr. Fattouh is a busy gentleman. He is the director of the Oxford Institute for Energy Studies, where he also leads the Oil and Middle East program. Dr. Fattouh is also a research fellow at St. Antony's College at the University of Oxford. He is a professor at the School of Oriental and African Studies, SOAS, in London. Dr. Fattouh's professional interests stretch far and wide, and he has published a variety of articles on the international oil pricing systems, OPEC's pricing power, and the security of Middle East oil supplies. Dr. Fattouh's appetite for knowledge does not end there, as his articles on non-energy themes have been published in the Journal of Development Economics, Oxford Review of Economic Policy, and the Economic Inquiry, to name a few of many. He is currently writing a book titled The Business and Institutional Environment for the Middle East and North Africa. We wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors, but considering his impressive history, we doubt he will need it. It is now my pleasure to invite His Excellency Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah and Dr. Bassam Fattouh to the stage to accept his award.
Your Excellency, Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah, I'm truly delighted and humbled to receive the Lifetime Achievement Award for the advancement of education for future energy leaders. My thanks to you, the Foundation, and the Selection Committee for honoring me with this award. I would like to thank Dr. Al-Daham for his very generous introduction. I'm deeply honored to have him present my achievements. At the start of my energy career, I was lucky enough to meet an inspirational teacher and guide, Mr. Robert Mabro. His wealth of knowledge and his enthusiasm inspired me to start down the path I now follow, and his deep insights and intellectual integrity continue to shape and influence my thinking today. Many thanks to him. I will continue as best as I'm able his legacy of teaching and inspiring the next generation of energy leaders. I would like to remember and thank my my mother and father, whom I lost not long time ago. Without their unequivocal support, dedication, and vision, I would not be here today. This would have meant a lot to them. Last but not least, I would like to thank my family for their continuous encouragement and support over the years. Thank you.
Congratulations, Dr. Bassam. Well, for the fifth award of the evening, I'd like to invite Dr. Aldo Flores Quiroga, the Secretary General of the International Energy Forum, to present the category and announce the winner. Thank you, Dr. Flores.
It is my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce the winner of the 2016 Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah Award for Lifetime Achievement for the advancement of the producer-consumer dialogue to Mr. Claude Mandil. When anyone thinks about promoting a dialogue that is productive, constructive, respectful, informative, results-oriented, two words come to mind. The dialogue has to be engaging and it has to be well-informed. On those two counts, the work of Mr. Claude Mandil has made a major difference for the quality of the conversation among producers and consumers. His career spans a very impressive amount of work in the energy sector. He was the head of the International Energy Agency, which is based, as you know, in France. He served as part of its governing board. He promoted the entrance of France into this agency. He worked in the government of France as well on energy matters, advising ministers. He was the head of the Bureau of Mines and Geology. He has been advising companies and experts around the world. And thanks to all that knowledge, to all that experience, he has been one of the key individuals that have made a difference for the producer-consumer dialogue. And I am very honored to have the opportunity to introduce this award to him. So please join me in welcoming him, because it is now my pleasure to invite His Excellency Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah to present, and Mr. Claude Mandil to the stage to accept this award.
Your Excellency, Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah, Excellencies, dear friends, my very, very deep acknowledgement for this award. I am really moved and very happy. And my thanks to Aldo for the two kind words. For me, the dialogue between producers and consumers started 25 years ago. I was undersecretary in the French government, and during those 25 years, I could work with such a number of extraordinary persons. Many of them are here today. That if I tried to thank all of them, it would take me much more than the 2 minutes I have been given. So allow me to just to mention three of you for a special thank. The first one is my very good friend Adnan Shihabeldin. Adnan is here. He was He deserves. He was the acting Secretary General of OPEC at the time where I was the Executive Director of the IEA, and it's exactly what happened. Foes becoming friends. It's an epitome of the dialogue between producers and consumers. The second one is my deep thanks to His Excellency Minister Al Naimi. Minister Al Naimi was a great minister, a great supporter of the dialogue, with whom I share many memories, in particular during the first days of the military operations in Iraq in 2003, when we managed to avoid any disturbance in the oil market. And third, of course, I would like to pay special tribute to His Excellency Minister Al Attiyah, always a key player of the dialogue process, and a particularly friendly one. I am indeed extremely honored and deeply moved to receive this award. Thank you.
Congratulations to Mr. Mandil. Well, to present the next award, it's my pleasure to welcome Mr. Martin Frankel, the Global Head of Content for S&P Global Platts.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, it's my pleasure to introduce the winner of the 2016 Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah Award for the Lifetime Achievement Award for the Advancement of International Energy Journalism to Ms. Margaret McQuail. Ms. McQuail has been front and center of all the highs and lows of the global oil market for nearly 3 decades. Her journey into the world of energy journalism started when she joined Platts as an oil market reporter in 1983. Since then, Margaret and Platts have been working closely with market participants across the region. Platts' Dubai and Oman benchmarks help define the value of crude and condensates produced and exported from the Gulf to destinations around the world. We've worked particularly closely here in Qatar, including with many of you in this room, to bring Qatari crude into the Dubai mechanism for the first time. Qatar's Al Shaheen was successfully added to the basket in January this year, joining Upper Zakum and Merbum from Abu Dhabi, Oman Blind, and of course Dubai Crude itself into the Dubai benchmark. Ms. McQuail's part in this journey has been varied. She battled the crowds at her first OPEC meeting in Vienna in 1985 and has been a regular attendee ever since. She went on to become a mentor to many Platts journalists, training in-house workshops and helping write the Platts Style Guide are just some of Ms. McQuail's achievements that reflect her passion to report on the oil markets thoroughly. She was the recipient of OPEC's 2015 Award for Journalism and the International Association for Energy Economics 2006 Award for Excellence in Written Journalism. While Margaret is now retiring from Platts, she continues to write. She is to release her second novel in 2017. As well as a love of language, Margaret's love of song means she performs on stage and in recitals as an accomplished classical singer. It is now my pleasure to invite His Excellency Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah and Margaret McQuail to the stage to accept her award.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'm horribly nervous speaking because as a journalist I've always asked questions and listened. I haven't talked about myself or anything else. This incredible award is coming as I give up my journalistic career, for a while anyway. I may take it up again, because I've been writing novels, which I've always wanted to do. I'm very conscious that previous recipients of this award are Randa Taqiyuddin, Walid Khadouri, and Pierre Terzian, fantastic journalists. And if my work has been even 1/20th as good as theirs, I'll be really happy. I was an energy journalist for 30 years, and most of my focus during this time was on OPEC. And the OPEC story has always been a fascinating one, and it still is. But maybe the most important part of any story, whether it's fact or fiction, is the people you come across, the characters. His Excellency Abdullah Al Attiyah stands out as one of the most respected, most knowledgeable, and most genial of ministers. And I feel very honored and very proud to receive this award that bears his name. I'd also like to thank His Excellency Ali Naimi for his extraordinary openness with journalists, something all of us who've covered the world of oil and OPEC really appreciate. And finally, I'd like to thank my colleagues at Platts for their professional and personal support over the years. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to Margaret McQuail. Well, now it's my pleasure to invite His Excellency Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah to present the honorary award this evening.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I am very honored to be with you tonight to give a very special man, a very special person, our honorary achievement of life. This man, once they asked me, what do you think about Mr. Ali Naimi? I said, he is Ali Naimi and will be no another Naimi. I met him, before 92 or after 92 when in some occasion, very shortly, he was CEO of Aramco. He, some few times show up in OPEC, most time never show up. So when he became a minister in 95, we met many times. We worked together. I told him once, Your Excellency, I've been attending OPEC since 1972 as a young delegate in the back seat. In 92, after 20 years, I was in the first seat. Took me 20-year journey to reach the first seat. I say to Mr. Naimi, I saw OPEC, in the 70s and the 90s and the 80s, how it really read a reshuffle, it read a shake-up. It's become so slowly. Meeting takes weeks and sometimes months, and sometimes, we never even take decisions. Only, the way that we lost our credibility in the front of the world. So I asked him, what do you think? He said, first, let's go back to Vienna. Because at the time, all our headquarters in Vienna and we meet in Geneva. And the cost is very high to move the whole logistics to it. So I agree with him and supported him immediately. Secondly, we agreed OPEC will not and must not exceed only 1 day and the maximum only 2 days. And this is what happened. And finally, OPEC changed very dramatically. And it's become more efficient, more professional. And, even my good friend, journalists, as Margaret and others, and even Randa Taqaddir and others who been with me for a long time, they said, in that time, we spent 3 weeks, 2 weeks, maximum 10 days, minimum 1 week, and sometimes 1 month. Now, we cannot even open our luggage or close our luggage, you're finally finished. But it was really a big achievement from Mr. Naimi. Mr. Naimi really is the most professional man I ever met in my life. I learned a lot from him. Burami, you never retired. You will be, and you will be continue, because I think the world of energy need your experience. All of us. Some people told me, you retired from government. I said, no, I never retired from government. I walk out from government, but I will never retire from life. I'm there. So I would like to welcome Mr. and His Excellency Ali Al Naimi, the famous of Abu Rami. Welcome to the stage, Your Excellency.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to thank my dear friend, His Excellency Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah, and the organizing committee for giving me this prestigious award. Recipients of Lifetime Achievement Awards, such as this, are usually modest. But I was born in the harsh desert of Arabia in 1935. So I am over 80 now. When life was tough and life expectancy was not high. So it's quite an achievement I'm standing here at all. My life has certainly been an incredible journey. First at Saudi Aramco, then 21 years as minister. I am proud to say that my friend, His Excellency Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah, has stood shoulder to shoulder with me through many of the diplomatic ups and downs of the past 2 decades. So thank you, Your Excellency. Maybe I should tell you something about an event in Davos. Both of us had to make a speech. I did my speech, I answered the correspondent questions, and then His Excellency Abdullah Attiyah gave his speech. And one of the penetrating questions was, Mr. Al Attiyah, how come OPEC in the past used to spend a week, 2 weeks, a month in the meetings, and now only 1 or 2 days? Abdullah looked at them and he said, that was before Ali Naimi and I were made ministers. Young people sometimes ask me, what is the secret of your success? I tell them there is no secret. Number 1, hard work. There is no substitute for hard work. And that goes for studying and in their work. Number 2, I tell them, make your boss look good. If you do, maybe he will be promoted and you can take his job. I know you expect a long speech from me on energy, but that's over. No more speeches. So thank you once again for this prestigious award.
Congratulations to His Excellency Mr. Ali Al Naimi. Your Excellency, please, if I could ask you to remain on stage. Your Excellency Al Naimi, please remain on stage. Your Excellency Al Attiyah, please, if you would join him. And I would like, please, everyone to remain seated while we enjoy coffee and dessert for a few minutes. And invite the winners only, please, to come up and join their Excellencies on stage for a photo. Thank you very much. If everyone else could remain seated, please, for the time being. And if the winners could please come up and join their Excellencies for a group photo. Thank you. Everybody's going to get their award. Have we got everybody? 7 winners next to their Excellencies. 1, 2, 3, 4. We just want to get everybody their awards. Margaret, thank you. And then we can... Congratulations to our 7 distinguished prize winners tonight. And I'm going to ask our winners and their excellencies to stay exactly where they are, please, and invite the top table, please, your excellencies and ladies and gentlemen, to please come and join the 7 winners. Your Excellency Al Attiyah, I'd like you to remain, please, just for a few more minutes for our second photo. If the top table guests, please, could come and stand behind the winners. Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations. Your Excellency Al Attiyah, don't hurry off too soon. Your Excellency Al Attiyah, I'd like to invite you back to the podium to close this evening's ceremony for us, please. We're not letting you go quite yet. Thank you very much.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency Ali and Amy, my good friends, I would like to thank you for attending the 4th Abdullah Bin Hamad Al Attiyah International Award for Energy. We committed since the first one until today that I never been, any influence in the selection and the electing group. There is a special committee from an international figures from all over. They are the member and who are the selective. And I never knows the names until they send it to me. So I am very happy and I congratulate the winners. I congratulate them to attend tonight. And also I would like to thank our guests and our friends and the board of trustee of my foundation. We always try, in our fund to try to give some achievement and thanks to people who give so influence to the energy industry. Energy industry can be sick, can be weak sometimes, but they never die. And I hope energy will continue very important to the whole world. Hopefully, I hope and I wish to all my guests who are coming from outside of Qatar to enjoy Doha. Even today, it's a little bit hot or very hot. But normally, Doha always beautiful. Either it's hot or cold. And I hope that you enjoy in Doha, and safe back to home. I would like to thank also our sponsors. Maersk Oil, Dolphin, Supreme Committee for Delivery and Legacy, Qatar Airways, and finally, what I called my baby, Qatar Petroleum. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. And also, I have a special thanks to His Excellency Dr. Muhammad Sada for our support and also for our, give my foundation a fully support. I would like to thank every one of you. Thank you very much. I love you and I will miss you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Your Excellencies. Please do stay and enjoy your coffee and dessert. And inshallah, we will see you next year for the award ceremonies. Bon appetit and goodbye and safe journey home. Thank you.